What's going on, everybody? The Cornerman underscore MMA, Ryan the Mighty Quinn. Great night of fights at UFC San Diego yesterday. A lot to discuss. I mean, we can start at the top. Well, obviously, Chito Vera's big knockout over Dominick Cruz. We're going to break down that fight as well as see what's going on next for Chito. I don't think that he's going to get a title shot for a while. Obvious reasons. Everyone's kind of locked up at the top of the division, but we will. I think there's more to it than that. Um, Oh, Nina Nunes retiring. Good for you, Nina. Congratulations on a great career. You're going to be a wonderful mother. You already have Reagan. This is fantastic. Good for you. Hopefully, I'll get you guys on here soon. I can't wait to see the gym too. Everything looks like it's really coming together for you guys. Angela Hill's fight versus forget her name actually. I gotta go look that up real quick. Now I know she won by unanimous decision. I wasn't completely sold on that personally. Let me see here. I wasn't completely sold on that because I felt that it's a damage game, as we've discussed time and time again with the commission. Lupida Godinez. Sorry about that. So now these are always the fights that we haven't questioned, particularly in California. Now, I said something on Twitter. California judges tend to favor the fighter prodding forward, looking to bring the fight. Now, I know that we've seen these fights go other directions all the time. Godinez I felt she was doing the more damage. She was connecting more. I guess that would be dominance for those damage that don't count. I think that I felt she won. I just on that aspect alone, she did kind of sit tight a little bit. But overall, I thought that her output was just a little bit more effective than Angela's coming forward. I'm a fighter that comes forward or used to come forward, so I can understand where the judges are getting that from, thinking that she won. It was going to be interesting and a unanimous decision. I'm surprised all three judges saw it that way. I maybe there was something I missed. That's why they do the job, and I don't. I just criticize. But no, that was interesting. I'm going to go back and watch that fight too. I'm not going to break it down here tonight because I really wanted to talk about Marlon Vera and his fight last night with Dominick Cruz. A fight pretty much went the way I said this to a friend of mine last night on the Betting Bananas with Dave Van Auken. The fight went the way I thought it was going to go, but I didn't see that coming. That's the best way I could say about that fight. Dominick won rounds the way he was going to win rounds. This being a 5-round fight, I thought that was a tough game plan to sustain for 25 minutes. I know Anthony Smith said something on the post-fight show last night, similar, like, can he do this 4 more times after the first round? I said earlier in this week on a piece that he's going to need to mix in his wrestling for 2 reasons. That's obviously the takedown score, and second, give Chito something to think about when Dominick's coming in on those angles. Oddly enough, or not oddly enough, the knockout did not happen on Dominick coming in. The knockout happened off of Chito's right hand, getting Dominick to dip down, as people were noticing, to the left kick. Now, Dominick's left kick is it's overly devastating. He knocked out Frank Yeager like that as well. But the game plan, I felt it was, like I said, it was the right game plan for Dominick. It's just a real tough one to sustain for 25 minutes. He would have had more. Well, I mean, had it been a 3-round fight, he would have won. He would have won. But it's that I'm not saying he always beats Chito in a 3-round fight. I'm just saying that's the way the fight played out. Marlon Vera usually has a very conserved style. He would have been probably putting the pedal to the metal in a 3-round fight. I think that's another thing. There's a big difference. That's the big X factor, the difference in training for 3-round fights and 5-round fights, fighting 3-round fights and 5-round fights. Would you, in those earlier rounds, would you exert energy to get this, or nah, we'll get that back later? Stuff like that. I remember I asked our coaches at American Top Team, I said, what's the difference between training a fighter for a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight? I looked at it like this: like, we already spar 6 rounds on our sparring days. Are you going to have them spar 9? That seems a lot. That seems very excessive. And it is. No, you have them do the 6, maybe a little pad work after, something along that. Just you don't need to. That's not the case. You're going to be in shape. It's not how many rounds you put in; it's how much you put into the rounds, so to speak. And I think that was really important. That's a little side note, but either way, that being said, I think that Marlon would have put a little more into those first 3 rounds then, but I felt he was going to open up in round 3 and 4 anyway. Um, Getting Dominick's timing down is tough, and Dominick looked quick. I didn't expect Dominick to look that quick, and I know he is usually fast. He's usually quick in and out with the angles, but I didn't expect him to look that quick after somewhat of a layoff. He's 37. He did look like that. He was. I know Chito said something about his game plan. The way he fights, and yeah, he has done that, and he's been successful throughout his career. But against Chito again for doing it for 25 minutes, it's a lot to ask for. It is a lot to ask for. It's just, and then it showed. The Chito found the mistake he was looking for and knocked Dominick out. It was tough. So where do we go from here? I think that he is the clean #1 contender. I think that Marlon Vera, he deserves a title shot next. Timing is everything, though. We're in August right now. We're about to enter Q4, and right now we have a big event in October with we have Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley, and we have TJ Dillashaw versus Aljamain Sterling. So a lot could happen there that's going to force it's going to force Chito to sweat it out a bit. Because that's 2 months away. You got to imagine the next bantamweight title fight is not going to be until probably February, Super Bowl of next year. No, probably even later than Super Bowl of next year. Because I can't see them squeezing in within 3 months. Usually you have your champions fight quarterly if you can. So there's a lot there. So you got Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw. Honestly, I think that doesn't even matter. Maybe if TJ wins, maybe they give him Aljamain the rematch. I don't know about that. I would like to see what you guys have to think about that. I think if Aljamain wins, TJ just gets back in line. He's 2 or 3 fights away from another title fight. But obviously, we got Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley. I feel like they're hoping that O'Malley's going to beat Peter Yan. I don't think he does personally. But I think that they're hoping that happens. I think they want to try to ride Sean O'Malley into that title picture. I really think they're trying to do that. And if that does, that's going to set Chito around. I spoke with Pedro Munoz about, possibly getting that rematch with Sean O'Malley, which is what I was hoping for. It's almost like they pushed Sean O'Malley forward, even though he got the no contest. And we agreed it's because, the generation, they connect with Sean O'Malley. I think that they're really trying to push this kid. That's why I think if he pulls it off against Peter Yan, he gets the title shot. Now, if Peter Yan wins, if Peter Yan wins, I don't know if they're going to push for a Yan Sterling 3 so quickly. Could be wrong about that. Would they push for? I don't know. Is it tough to give him a title shot immediately after? I don't know. I just don't see it. Does Peter have to fight Chito next? Which Chito said he doesn't want to do. I think so. That could be a possibility. If I'm Chito, I think he's earned the right to hold out until the title shot if he wants to do it. I think that's the way to go. It's going to be a little bit of a layoff, like I said, probably 6 months away. Not uncommon. This happens, not uncommon, especially in a heavyweight class like that where they got studs right now, just up and down the rankings. I think that there's still a lot to unfold, and he might have to wait in line. And I right now, like I said, I think that they're hoping Sean O'Malley pulls it off, and they're going to push Sean O'Malley for a title shot. Other than that, I really can't see anybody else ahead of Chito. So that's what I got tonight, guys. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. I got Fighter Foundation coming on with Carla Duran, Rose Gracie, and I forgot the gentleman's name. Oh, McGregor, Eric McGregor. I'm sorry, Eric. They talk about fighter safety awareness, giving fighters an education on what they're getting themselves into, as well as weight cutting tips and stuff like that. Putting the fighters first, and that's what it's about. They're coming on next Tuesday. I'm posting, and then I got a couple of things in the works. Not sure what's coming out Thursday, But thank you. Let me know what you think later, guys. Bye.